All right, so if you clicked on this video, you're obviously wondering how you can clean up your fuel lines a little bit better. So we're gonna show y'all how to do it. And then at the end of this video, we're gonna give y'all a long overdue update on everything we're doing to the truck. So let's get started. On a completely stock truck, you'll have a fuel filter somewhere right in here, if I remember correctly. And you'll have a line that comes out right here and goes to the fuel filter. And then that line comes back and connects like right here, if I remember correctly. And then, or vice versa. So the fuel line comes up, comes through, and then connects right here and goes to your CP3 right there. So in a previous video, I showed y'all how to connect a 10 AN fuel line to an oversized connection right here. And that's all pretty straightforward. You just connect this all the way down to your lift pump. If you want to delete your OEM fuel filter, you'll definitely need a lift pump in order to filter your fuel. So today what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this line because one, this right here is dry rotted, and you can actually hear the air being sucked into it while the fuel goes back to the tank. We also need to remove this to make room for the new Y bridge so that we can, get some stuff under this hood in a few months. So the hard way to do this is going to be removing this upper coolant tube from the thermostat housing, which means I'll have to drain the coolant and put new coolant in it and all that stuff. But I'm hoping that I can kind of get in here without having to do all that, and also without breaking anything. So it's a pretty tight fit down in there, but I need to remove this line right here, and then I need to cut this line about right there. It's a low pressure line, so I'm not really worried about any leaking, but I definitely need to cut this without getting shards of metal everywhere. So we'll have to actually displace the metal instead of cutting it, which will need a tubing cutter. And that's going to be a pretty tight fit for a tubing cutter, but we're going to see what we can do, try to make it as easy as possible. And then on this side, I've already removed the fuel line that goes to the fuel filter, the stock fuel filter. So we'll have to remove this line and remove this tubing. Now, harness is out of the way, gave me a little bit more room. So now we're going to remove this bolt right here. Does anybody else put all their stuff up there? No, just me. All right, so that loosened up this line a lot. So now we could probably get that tool underneath it and be able to cut this line off right here. But first, we're gonna pull this line off, pull it off of the CP3 under here, because I think I can get to it. And then we're going to cut this line, because I think that'll make it a little bit more maneuverable. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. If not, you just take some pliers, squeeze this down, and then you'll want to kind of work this just like that. Get it loose, then it should come off pretty easily. Perfect. Cool. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing for this line right here. This back line, not this hard line, but this line right here. And that's gonna be a little bit tighter, so I'm gonna have to put the camera down. This is dry rotted, and eventually that would start leaking, but that's what happens. These lines don't last forever. All right, so now we need to cut this line, or displace this line somewhere right in here. I kind of want it to fit, so I might cut it like right here, because I want it to fit in this bracket right here. Oh man. Cut this off, and no metal shavings, because we used a pipe cutter or displacer. I had someone correct me one time on that, and I was like, oh, okay, get over yourself. So we've got the line hooked up right here, going up under the hard line, high pressure between these two high pressure lines. And the T is right here, right above the CP3. And then the T is coming out. And then now we're trying to figure out where to mount this. We pulled this bracket out. Might end up putting it back in, but I really want to set that like right there. But I'm gonna cut the top of this off. So we'll get back with y'all when I get done with that. All right, so I cut the top of that off, and I'll show y'all as soon as I figure out a spot to get it mounted. Sweet. All right, there you have it. We moved this line, the line that was going across right here, going right there, out of the way. Remove this block right here and all of this, and put that right there. I don't really like that, but I'll live with it right now. Maybe we can clean it up in the future. Powder coat it or something. Yeah, looks good. All right, so we got that done. The next thing that I want to do for you guys is to clean up this harness. I'm going to do a glow plug delete, get rid of the glow plug module and all of the wires inside the harness, and make the harness a little bit smaller. And I've had a lot of people ask me, how I did this. So I'm gonna show y'all how I did that in the process while doing something that I've been wanting to do for some time. And we're gonna move these lines out of the way and just really try to clean up this side of the engine, because we are finally doing the triples. Transmission's still down, so we gotta fix that too. And a few other little odds and ends. I'm hoping to be able to post more regularly, but it won't be with any kind of consistency. But I will be posting more often this year, so we get the truck back up and running, and almost done. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.